Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with just the worst recording of Salome I've heard in like centuries. It features Edward Gardner conducting with the Bergen Philharmonic Orchestra, and the singists, such as they are Malin Byström as Salome, Katrina Dalayman as somebody else. Wait a minute. I have to be able to read this. This is going to be another one of those where you can't see a damn thing. How could they do this? I mean, I can't trash something I can't see. It was bad enough I had to listen to it. See, look at this. How you gonna follow that? Look at these tiny, teeny. Okay, so let's get through this. Herod is Gerhard Siegel. Herodias is Katarina Dalayman. Salome is this Malin Byström lady. Jochanaan is Johann Reuter. Naraboth is Bror Magnus Todinus. The page is Michael Müller, Katsalon, who cares? They all just suck. It's unbelievable. Look, here's the bottom line. Salome has been described as a tone poem with voices, which it really is. It's like a Strauss tone poem. It's so rich and voluptuous and decadent and juicy and marvelous. Haven't you ever been to the symphony when you've heard a Strauss tone poem being played and like someone next to you is talking and it's really irritating? Well, that's what this sounds like. It is awful from every point of view. Gardner, has the Bergen Philharmonic playing quite beautifully. He really does, and it's a performance with a lot of orchestral detail and transparency and lightness of texture, but it's all very soft-edged. When the head comes out of the cistern, or Salome's final apotheosis, when it comes into that crunching chord, ya da 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 da, wah! It's nothing is happening. I mean, nothing. It's a snooze fest. It's soft and blurry and impressionistic, and it's sort of like Debussy's The Girl with the Flaxen Hair. It's not Salome. It isn't, however beautifully the orchestra plays. But, and here's the irony, the real irony. It's the old joke, the old joke about the elderly couple leaving the restaurant, and, the husband says to the wife, "How was your food?" And he says, "Terrible. How was yours?" And he says, "Terrible. And such small portions." I mean, that's what this is, because the voices are so far back in the mix, and they're small voices. They're not the voices that you need to do Salome in the first place. So they are inaudible. I mean, just really inaudible behind the orchestra half the time, which maybe is a good thing, because when they are audible, they are thin and shrill and wobbly and totally lacking in any. Well, what do we want to talk about here? Herod, who whines the whole time, of course. Well, he does whine, but not in a good way. Jochanaan, oh my God. I mean, he's a fanatic, and he has to make proclamations, right? He's Salome, du bist verflucht. You are accursed. He's screaming, and and you don't even hear him. It's ridiculous. Salome herself, their interchanges, when they're singing with one another, there's no tension at all. It's all just thin and wispy. And when Salome says, "Ich bin verliebt in deinem Leib, Jochanaan," I mean, yes, it's girlish and childish, but it also has to be, maniacal, and it has to increase in passion so that he can be appalled and revile her. Tochter Babylon. It's so much fun. The way he says niemals. No, nothing happens. And then when she finally gets the head, And then when she finally gets the head, she's got 15 minutes of solo singing. I remember the film with Catherine Malfitano. She's dripping sweat and oh my God, it's disturbing. There is nothing disturbing here. There's just this thin, barely audible, wobbly voice screeching away. There's no apotheosis at the end. When she gets killed, I mean, where is the power, the hysteria, the mania that finally breaks through and when everything dissolves into chaos? I mean, it's just a dreadful, absolutely dreadful, badly sung, badly recorded, embarrassing performance of Salome. And you know what really is sad about it is that Chandos does beautiful work. I mean, it's nicely packaged. You have a beautiful booklet with text and translation. They do it the way it should be done. But you got to have a great performance. I mean, this is just a farce. It really is. It's extraordinarily awful. Just really, really, really bad. I can't even begin to go into how uncompetitive this is. I mean, you've got Nilsson with Schulte and Hildegard Behrens, and you've got Montserrat Caballé, who actually is surprisingly good with Leinsdorf. And, there are fabulous Salomes bopping around out there. And this is completely a mess. That's the deal. Sorry, folks. I mean, I was listening to it. I listened to it on my speakers, my good system. I just have to say, my good sound system, because I thought there was something wrong. Initially, I was listening to it, frankly, on the train at work, because I like to get a feel for it, see what I'm in for. And I couldn't imagine what was wrong. I mean, I had it cranked up all the way on my earbuds, and you could barely hear it. You certainly couldn't hear the voice as well, cutting through the orchestra. The whole thing was so subdued. And even when you crank it up, you really crank it up, it only makes the voices sound worse because the perspectives are so off. I mean, wow. I mean, how to botch something at every single possible level. That's an achievement, isn't it? So keep on listening, friends, not to this. Take care.